Oh, yeah.
Lit. What's going on? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's happening, everybody? We are live. It's a high vibe live right now, man. We are connected with a higher consciousness right now. We're one with the universe, and we're gonna be chopping up some very deep topics. So get your pens, get your papers. Hope you're tapping in. Hope you're asking questions. Hope you're engaging with the good brothers we have here on stage. We are at the TikTok Make Black History Summit for TikTok creators. I'm excited.
Yes.
All right.
What's going on, guys?
You already know me. It's your guy T Spice. I'm gonna let my new friends introduce themselves, starting from the right.
What's going on, guys? My name is Matt McBride, here from Adrift Dust. You guys from TikTok know who I am. Like he said, we're going to be answering a few questions. For those of you guys who do have questions, it doesn't matter what the questions are, just throw them at us. We're here to answer any questions that you guys may have for us.
Cool. I'm Cesar Sosa, Strong Like Sosa on TikTok, and pretty much we're just here with the high vibes, coming with every energy possible, and answering all the questions that you have to ask.
And what up, guys? My name is Amadou, aka Morpheus, at Morpheus Young, and I'm just here helping people liberate them from the matrix, just inspiring people to live their life and pretty much keep their inner child alive. And it's crazy because I met literally these people yesterday, and it's like we became really, really good friends, and we're kind of all doing the same thing in our own way. And I just met my homeboys today, and like the vibes are high, so we just decided to set up this live for everyone watching. Hope you guys are having an abundant day.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. This is what happiness, this is what joy, this is what gratitude, and this is what abundance looks like. So we're like we said, we're gonna jump in, we're gonna tackle some real deep topics and hopefully provide some value for you back at home. To kick it off though, like where you think we should start?
I think we should start with our biggest takeaways from this event in general, and like kind of giving maybe our own personal feedback. And if I had to say anything, like I'm really grateful to be here, but I think we should just start with like what are our takeaways from this event, kind of sharing our experience with some of the people that are watching because they're not here and we are. So if you guys are cool with that.
Oh, definitely.
All right, cool. So I'm gonna jump on it.
I can go first.
All right. Well,
I haven't seen any questions on here, but we can just like make our own questions and probably answer some questions that people were going to ask anyway.
I'll go in with my experience. Like you said, we'll do that. So let me start from where I got the invitation. So I actually started out on Musical.ly. So I did Musical.ly and I was playing around with it. That was the original TikTok for people who go back that far. And I was just playing around with it like a lot of people do. And eventually Musical.ly went away. And then when TikTok came back, I was on it right away. Just still picked up where I left off. And long story short, I ended up getting an invitation to come as a creator to the Make Black History Summit. And I don't really think it really processed for me. I don't really think I had a strategy behind it, but I did feel validated that, okay, your content is helpful, your content is, impactful, and somebody is receiving it. Like it's not just being shot out there. So when I came here and I started experiencing it, that's when it became real to me. I met up with my guy who I actually follow on TikTok and enjoy his content and consume his content, and that was such a surreal experience that I realized that I wasn't who I thought I was. Like I was so much more than what I thought I was, and I had so much more of a reach and so much more of ability to impact those. So when that really sunk in, my first night here, let me be fully transparent, let me be vulnerable and let y'all know I was overwhelmed with gratitude. I broke down to my knees. I just remembered all the nights that I have these visions and I have these feelings and I have, this energy that's pulling me, but it wasn't matching up with my surroundings. And it took such a steadfast focus, on what I believed, but I didn't see. And to just experience it, to have it just come into my life is like, it's working. It's been working the entire time. It's going to continue working. And it's just a huge confirmation, a huge validation. And just seeing and connecting with people here has made a major impact on me. And I'm going to take that energy and where I'm bringing it. I'm bringing it to you. Absolutely.
Absolutely. I love it. For me, it's literally what you kind of, to piggyback off of what you said, just connecting with the right people. Like, one thing I love about like these types of events, and I go to a lot of events outside of like, I guess, like social media events, like entrepreneur events, and one thing I would recommend, if you're not doing this already, like start going to events, and like if you're not social, just go to events and like push yourself to get uncomfortable and express yourself and authentically be yourself. That's what I want to start off with. But another thing that I want to touch upon is that like, you will meet the right people. I swear to God, this connection was not forced. And I believe like sometimes people go to events and they feel like they got to introduce themselves to this person. Oh my God, that's that person? No, just know that you're already complete and just go and just be you, chill. Like, I was literally just standing with my camera and you just asked me a question and it literally turned into this. And that's just like crazy, you feel me? So like, and that's just so organic, and it's just like, it just spirals. Like, I believe like alignment with the universe, like you're never at the wrong place and you never meet the wrong people unless you're kind of meant to be taught a lesson. So like, in a sense, just know like when you're going to these events, like see it as almost like your life is a journey, and like this is like another step in your journey to like kind of meet people that are going to be part of the bigger picture as well. So that's for me like my biggest takeaway, even though I'm personally like, I'm not on TikTok, I'm more so on Instagram and YouTube. And even though I technically got hired to like shoot this event, like, but I collabed with like these creators, like just the way things have been turning out has just been like amazing. And I know like it's just divine timing is what we call it. So yeah, that's my personal takeaway from this whole event.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy how like, even if you're not talking to someone, you just like, you walk into a room and then you just gravitate towards a certain person with like the same feeling or the same mindset, you know? And it's just like, without even saying words, you just already know by looking at the person, just like the energy that they're bringing off is like vibrating with you. So you're just like, all of us right here are probably vibrating on the same energy, you know what I mean? Like, we just met pretty much either yesterday or today, and like a blink, it's like, there's no question, it's like, oh, you do this, or you do that, or you're cool with this. It's just more like, let's just picked off, like if we were picking off from somewhere we started, but even though it just started right there and then. So it's like super spontaneous. So I find that really intriguing. It's pretty cool.
Yes, indeed. Love. Yes, indeed.
I feel like this whole thing that came together just yesterday and today was, you know, just for the fact that we are experiencing this experience right now, that this was already in the making. Like, before I was even here, before we even met each other, this was already supposed to happen.
Right. And
you just didn't know about it. And so that's where, like, when I was talking about this with a friend a few days before I even, came here, that, before, like, just because you can't see what's actually happening doesn't mean it's not happening. Right. Like, that grass is outside. Like, I'm from Connecticut. Right now, we still have, there's no grass. It's straight mud. And just, you're looking at that mud, you're looking at the ground, but you have absolutely no idea that ground is doing what it has to do to brew that grass up again. Just because you don't see the grass don't mean that the ground's not working on it. Just because you don't see the raspberries and the blueberries on the trees right now, it doesn't mean that tree isn't working all season. Absolutely. So it's all inner work that we have to work with on a deeper level. And sometimes, just like Tracy said today, which was a big thing, like you compare your inner work, the inner you, who you truly are, with somebody else's highlights. And it's like that was a big takeaway for me today. It's like, nobody wants to show you who they truly are on the inside. They want to show you like the highlights, what's actually happening, what this looks like. But when you get somebody who's really talking to you about, like, listen, this is what I'm going through. Right. This is what I'm, looking to overcome. Like, that is big, because we all go through that. Like, anybody can show you their successes, but show me the struggles and show me how you overcame them. That is big.
Right. I want to piggyback off of what you said, man, because it did hit me in a very profound way as well when Tracy Ellis Ross was talking about all the inner work that it takes to manifest the reality and the experience that she was having, because I think it's taken for granted more often, because people are easily attracted and drawn to the things that you can see, the things that you can touch, the things that you can smell. But while we're on this whole train of the earth doing exactly what it needs to do to sprout up and, to become something that you can take part in. I like to think of it as a tree, so like you have the roots, you have the part of the tree that's getting the nutrients. You can't see that part. You can see the trunk, and people look at the fruit. and try to just grab the fruit, try to just make a fruit tree, but you have to plant the seed first, and that's what I took from her time on here on stage, right? It's a lot of inner work that it takes to sprout that manifestation, to sprout that money. So people, they have a dream, right? And one of the first things they do, most people, they live in a negative mindset, a scarcity mindset. They'll say, I don't have money, I don't have time, I don't have energy. But what they don't realize is that time, money, energy are all manifestations of mindsets.
Absolutely.
So it's not that you don't have resources, it's that you're not managing the resources that you do have in the most effective way. It's a matter of resourcefulness. I think a lot of people, they think they have financial issues, they have relationship issues, they have, any type of issue. And I'd like to challenge anybody that's watching right now to challenge that. Say you don't have money issues, you have a psychological issue. You know what I'm saying? You have a perception issue. You have a limiting belief that you need to address. There's a lot of that, and it's going under the radar because it's subconscious. Subconscious. 95% of our lives are run by the subconscious, and it believes what you tell it. Facts.
I agree with that, and I guess some of you guys that may be listening to this and be like, yeah, but like, how do I go about solving that or fixing that issue? Like for me, like how I dealt with some of the limiting beliefs, or honestly for me, it's more so childhood traumas, like, and things that I've had done to me as a kid growing up. Not that my parents were bad or anything, just because like people can only do what they know, you get me? And because I'm first gen and my parents are from like Senegal, West Africa, like the way that they deal and like raise children, it's like very disciplinary and like spanking, all that other stuff. So it's like, in a sense, that is child abuse to some degree, mental or physical. And like for me, how I kind of dealt with it realistically is just, I spent a lot of time in silence. Like literally, it may sound weird to you, but just sit in a room when there's nothing and it's just you. And I swear to God, answers will come to you like never before. And it's like things, like don't try to control your thoughts. Don't just literally just be and see what happens. And like, I believe like people try to like outsource or like kind of look for answers from other people, get opinions, like all that is cool, but like it's not gonna mean anything if you're not listening to your inner voice first. So my biggest advice is like listen to you before trying to go down any other route. And you do have the answers, you just need to give yourself the space to listen to it. So if you're going through like a phase where like you don't, like it's just like things can be better and you're not sure how, like just sit in silence. Try this at least like once a week to start off for like 40 minutes and see if it works. It may not, or it may work, but it's gonna work.
That's how it works. Sit in silence. It's gonna work.
Yeah.
But
They say there's some things that you need to know that only you can show yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
How you love yourself when you don't even know yourself.
100%. 100%. But yeah, that's like what I took away. That's what I connected from it. But that's pretty much all I had to say about that topic. If you guys have anything to share, definitely. And also, if you guys have questions, I would say that there's people. You guys are in the chat. Like you guys.
Zoro Spicer, what's up? What's going on, family?
Ask questions.
Oh man,
That's his chat.
what's happening, Joe? Yeah. I'm not ignoring y'all. Love. Yes, indeed. It is awesome. Drop any questions if you have. Let's engage. Let's connect. What are we doing? What's happening?
What's the first question?
What is the first question? Okay. The first question, they said mindset. They said, what is the one thing that the world needs more than anything else?
That's a
Gratitude.
debatable.
What do you think?
That's debatable.
That's pretty deep. Gratitude is a big one. Showing your appreciation for like other human beings.
What is the one thing the world needs more than anything else?
All right, so I was about to leave because I had to record a time lapse, but this question, whoever asked that question, amazing question. But I think the world needs more people to be themselves, and most importantly, just authentic and loving. I believe people just don't love, and like they put like this barrier up in front of them, like they just can't be themselves or they can't express themselves. So many people struggle with clear communication and expression, and they're keeping all this shit inside of them, and then they build resentment, and then they fucking hate people, and like this person you're hating doesn't even know you hate them because you lack the effort to take one step up and just communicate. Everyone has different perceptions and different ways that they were brought up. So like you can't really take it personal if someone does something. I mean, if you communicate your boundaries and communicate it, and then they intentionally do it, then take it personal, and then like start taking like precautions that suit that situation. But for the most part, I believe the world needs more people to be themselves, be authentic, love themselves, and care for people around you. Don't just care for people that you know, or because you can get something. Just care for a person because they're a person and they have the same emotions, people have the same desires. People want to be loved, people want to be cared for, people want to be noticed, and people want to be treated well. So just like lead by example too. So don't just like wish it would happen, also be it. So that's like what I believe the world needs more of. Yeah.
I think it's more like, to piggyback off of what you said, I think it's more empathetic than anything, because like you said, like we are always looking at it from our perspective, our point of view, but you have absolutely no idea that they have their own set of beliefs, you know, based upon their experiences, you know. So it's like, you know, being able to put yourself in somebody else's shoes, or be able to look at their perspective, their experience, without thinking, because that's the first thing that we do. And that's a selfish act. We always think that something is personal, and something is absolutely, it has nothing to do with you. Like I often use this example. I read this example in this book called The Mastery of Love, which I love. I recommend to you guys so much. He was like, if somebody's walking down the street and they looked at you and said you were stupid, I mean, you have two options. You could take that personally, or you can have a completely different perspective and think,
hey guys,
what
I'm
is that
really
person
sorry, but
going
we're going to break down this room. There's a lot of movement, so I'd love for you guys to wrap up what you're doing, because you're gonna get in our way, we're gonna get in your way.
Okay.
Okay.
So 3 minutes, please.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But that's a big thing. That's a big thing.
It's funny you say that, because there was an actual like incident not too long ago where a man was actually crossing the street, and a lady from afar just looked at him and just like said pretty much that, like, oh, you're stupid. Why? Because he kind of looked a little homeless, but he's not, which was pretty crazy. I run into him later at the beach, and he's throwing a temper tantrum. He's all mad and everything, and I'm like, 4 people around him are telling her, are you really gonna let that ruin your day? Like, it's just that one person. Just don't let it affect you. You're already battling yourself. You don't need to battle anyone else. You know what I mean? So like that actually like blew my mind.
That's the big. You know, it's funny. That's the biggest war that we have. Like the war that we have
It's just
within ourselves is the biggest war of all. Like it has absolutely, bro.
They say I go by. I like to take little things that it helps me remind. So when it comes to that, they say I believe that the battle is fought and won in the mind, right? Like when you realize that, when you realize your entire experience is a result of a perception, you give yourself the power to now shift that perception. But a lot of people, they feel victim to the circumstance that I didn't cause this. I'm not playing with this. I'm being played. Like they feel like life happens to them.
Yeah.
But instead, you're happening to life, golly, right? But I think it takes a big person to say, look, I'm going to take responsibility for everything that happens in my life, good, bad, and different, whether I feel like I had any control over the situation or not. I need to challenge myself to say, okay, what part of me attracted this situation into my life, bro? And like, you may not be able to find out what it is at first, but just asking a question is indicative of somebody who is committed to self-improvement.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm looking for a lesson in everything.
Yeah,
Everything.
I agree. So like, it's funny you say that. So about like 7 months ago, I really started implementing what you were saying, and it's just like it really changed my outlook on everything. Like my thoughts, everything was more positive. If somebody came at me negative, I wouldn't let it affect them. I'll ask why. Like, why are they targeting me? Why do they feel that way? And then I'll talk to them, maybe like they're feeling something negative within themselves and they need to change that. And they're like throwing their negativity onto other people to make themselves feel better. So it's like,
Yes, indeed.
It's a whole vibe, bro.
All right, so I gotta come clean with y'all, man. So we just wrapped our first show.
one more thing though.
One more thing.
Don't judge a book by its cover. I know it's like a very basic thing to say, but like when meeting these guys, I saw past that. I saw their soul. I didn't really see their skin. I didn't see like anything else. The clothing, it was literally just their soul. Their soul attracted me a lot. So just like really keep that in mind. It will help you a lot in the future.
Absolutely, man. We're playing in the spiritual world, that's for sure.
Oh, yeah.
We're operating on frequencies and vibrations. We're communicating through energy. It's a language. It's a lifestyle. It's a thing, baby. Like, if you're watching this, I want to remind you, it's a whole vibe.
It's not a thing, it's a ting.
Sheesh.
It's a vibe, bro. It's energy.
Yes, indeed. When you tap
Everything
in,
is in.
as nothing is gonna be the same. But we kind of just snuck up on here and did our own makeshift talk show. You know what I'm saying? So we got to break it down now. But I appreciate y'all for tapping in. We're gonna be creating a lot more content and providing as much value as we possibly can while we have the opportunity to do it. Love, and yeah. My answer is the one thing that the world needs more than anything else is love. Problem is,
Leave that because if they have that damage, I'm responsible. So,
is love. The problem is not everybody knows what love is. So dive deep. Pro tip, it's unconditional. If your love ain't unconditional, it's not love. It's something else. Love. Peace out.